Yeah, nice to see so many people from all over the place. I think the last count that we had participants from about 11 different countries enrolled to the webinar, and we have some sunny and windy greetings from different parts of the Baltic Sea region. Light in the Dark has 11 project partners in 5 countries around the Baltic Sea. We have the Stockholm Archipelago, Åland Islands, 2 destinations in Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And at the beginning of the project, we've had 2 big surveys that were done. One was asking SMEs, so small tourism entrepreneurs, about their opinions and what they see as the challenges and the possibilities of seasonality. Because our project is involved or focused on nature-based tourism and seasonality. So trying to extend the season and to make entrepreneurs more profitable. And we'll shortly hear Monika presenting the result of that survey and SMEs themselves, how they see these issues. And then Klaipeda University, and we have Diana, who is from there. She'll introduce herself later. They did a very broad survey of the key markets for the whole region. So both the local markets, the regional markets, and then also some key European markets that are common to all our countries. And we'll find out there what is the possibility for nature-based tourism around the Baltic Sea. And then also we want to really promote our entrepreneurs, because they are the key people in our project, the ones that are providing the services and that we're helping to develop services with. And we'll hear Mate Kose from Estonia talking about his own experience and also his own views of how we can tackle seasonality. And then we'll have a short wrap up at the end and taking some lead points. But Anna, if you jump to the next slide. So we have a lot of activities in the project at the moment, and actually maybe the most exciting phase of our project at the moment. We started almost a year ago in November, and the project continues until 2026. Based on these 2 surveys that we're launching today, we're starting 2 processes, one directed at small tourism enterprises, and we have 26 of them with us today. We're going to be working with them for the next 6 months in intensive workshops, both online and in also physical meetings, developing new concepts. And you can see some of the ideas of these concepts below. We're talking about nature-based tourism, but also, of course, local lifestyle and culture, experiencing nature, and also having adventures. Parallel to that, we also are working with destinations, and the destinations are working on a concept that is actually like an umbrella concept for all the experiences that we are creating together. And the idea is that next year we will have both products, so experiences that test groups can test in the piloting phase, and also then marketing materials that will be tested in all regions. These will be improved, and then all our local partners and our regions and destinations will then be spreading the results of these to neighbouring destinations, visit organisations, and then also to the tourism companies in the local area. So if you'd like to keep in contact with the project, you can find more information on our website and also on our social media, and also on the newsletter. And we'll share the links at the end of the webinar. But first, just to kick off the webinar, we would like to share some SMEs. So Monika will soon present the interviews that were conducted with the SMEs in all our areas, but we have some that are with us today that will be sharing some of their short views. So this is just a 3-minute video.
Hej, jag heter Astrid och jag driver kajak och uteliv på Grädde brygga utanför Norrtälje.
Labdien! Esiet sveicināti Latvijā!
Tere! Mina olen Anneli ja me oleme Metsanurme külakeskuses.
Hej, jag heter Willem Holmberg och jag bedriver Shippon båttaxi.
Sveiki, linkėjimai iš Klaipedos. The best thing for my region is actually that we love the seaside no matter what. And during the winter, there are a lot of niche activities which you can find at the beach, at the sea, to enjoy the nature, to enjoy sea watching. And I believe that this is very powerful, which might be prolonged during the whole season.
It's that the archipelago is open all year round, and you can do basically the same thing all year round.
You don't need to go to Alaska, very far away and very expensive. But you need to go to here in Åland. We have nice rivers, we have really green country, and we have really quiet places, forests, and lots of bushes.
The best thing is the 4 different seasons. This is our success, but sometimes it's bad thing as well because people don't like somehow the autumn or very early spring.
The best thing about this place outside the traditional summer season is that in September the water is still warm and you have high crisp air and you're almost alone in the archipelago.
To prolong the season, I think that we need dialogue between business, tourism information center and municipality, just to extend the activities, to engage with people and to find out more innovative ways how to entertain and engage them.
The problems in the winter side that we don't have with big cities nice transportation connections.
The public transports keep up on working, so you can get to our place even in September. And that will make the accommodation stay open and people want to do activities, so I can also stay open.
I think we need to convince people and clients that there is not bad weather at all. You need right things. You need right shoes, you need right clothes, and you need right people who bring you outside in the nature.
To prolong the season in my region, I need customers. I'm a small business, so I can't bring customers to this region by myself, so I need other ones to cooperate with.
So that was a few views of the entrepreneurs that participated in the survey. And now, Anna.
Yes, so then for our first speaker, Monika Birkle from Åland University of Applied Sciences with how to prolong the tourism season. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So let's start by sharing my presentation and get the presentation up and running. Okay, just making sure, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. So good morning, everybody, and windy greetings from the Åland Islands. So happy to see many of you interested in this topic. I'm glad to be here to present the results of the survey and interview that was conducted this spring, and now finally we have the results up and running and published, and we will have a look at the key findings. So the challenge inventory study looks at challenges in this region among tourism entrepreneurs regarding seasonality in tourism. We presented a list of challenges known from previous research, and the respondents were then able to rate these commonly known challenges, and based on that we could identify which are the most common challenges throughout the northern Baltic Sea region. We also collected ideas and visions about future tourism products, especially during off-season, and overall found out what kind of solutions or new ideas the entrepreneurs can foresee. In the survey, we had 239 respondents, and we conducted 36 interviews together with all the partners in the project regions. So again, thank you to our amazing project partners for contributing to the data collection. So let's start with looking at the key findings. At this point, I would like to remind you that the full report is available, and we only picked the kind of most obvious findings. There's a lot more in the report. For example, you can have a look at some regional differences. The results I'm presenting today are overall results, and we don't have time to really dig into the differences between, for example, Stockholm Archipelago versus Lithuanian seaside. So obviously the situation varies from region to region. So key finding number 1, this is the most challenging.
So, Monika,
yes?
Sorry, just to interrupt you. We got a couple of, I don't know if this is for all users, but a few are saying that they only see you, they don't see your presentation. So maybe can you reshare? It's a bit strange because actually here we can see that it's live.
Okay.
So it should be.
Yeah, it also says on my screen that I'm sharing, but I'll stop sharing for a while.
Yeah.
And then let's try to share once more. I'm sharing the screen. And
anyway, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Because from
is
the
it
front
better
end here,
now?
it looks.
I'm supposed to share the screen key finding 1. This should be visible now.
For us, I can see it, but I don't know for the audience. Can you see it? No, they can't see it.
Okay.
So
Now I'm getting comments that they can see it.
Okay.
oh, they can. Okay. So on you go, Monika. Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you. So one of the major challenges that is common for all areas is that the current brand of the destination is focusing on the traditional summer season. So the marketing has been a lot highlighting summer, sea, sailing, guest harbors and such. And this image is really hard to change. So this is kind of number 1 challenge. And number 2, these are kind of business internal challenges that is typical for small enterprises in our region. SMEs are saying that they are struggling with low profitability, lack of capital, low customer demand, and difficulties in finding and retaining staff. Moving on to key finding number 3, difficult accessibility for tourists is mentioned as a big challenge. And here you will see in the report that there are big regional differences due to the geographical variation. But in general, public transport schedules are hard to read. There might also be only in local languages and maybe translated into English. And interregional travel information and itineraries are hard to find. So if a tourist wants to kind of combine several regions, going from Stockholm to Turku to Åland, for example, putting together a self-made package, it might be difficult to find this information needed. 34% of the SMEs consider the accessibility as a big or a very big challenge. Key finding number 4, what is also common for all our SMEs in these surveyed countries is that they find it difficult to access international tourism markets. 43% of the respondents, which is a kind of high number, feel that this is a big or a very big challenge for them. More challenges are found in the report. I will move on now to describing a little bit the businesses and jumping into the recommendations that we have formulated. I would like to kind of end on a very positive note, even though there are challenges. But you can see in the survey answers, in the open-ended answers, in the interviews, that SMEs see a huge potential in prolonging the season. It's a sustainability act also, since the infrastructure is there, and it would be SMEs would really like to use more efficiently the infrastructure and the equipment for a longer period of time. So there's a will to invest time and effort to prolong the season and to expand opening hours. We will also see what kind of new services are then planned. Shortly about the businesses, you can see here the geographical spread of the respondents. We have respondents from all regions, a slightly bigger share from Åland Islands and also from Lithuania and Latvia. The line of business that the SMEs represent, the biggest share is accommodation services, with 36% of the respondents. Also catering services, restaurants, bars and cafes. And then you can see the red piece of the pie representing other. And these kind of explain also the multi-business features. Many of these companies, they provide a variety of different services. In my presentation, I have included some pictures of entrepreneurs in action. So these are from various regions in the northern Baltic Sea region. So let's have a look at the operating months. What is the current situation? The blue color represents current opening hours. So what is the share of the respondents having their business open throughout the different months? What's interesting to look at is the brownish color on the top of the bars, willing to expand opening hours in future. And here you can see that the most commonly mentioned months are April and October. So for prolonging the season, in all destinations, there's a need to have some strategic discussions about where is the biggest potential, which months can be kind of regarded as highly potential for expanding the season. What's also kind of encouraging, I think, that even though that we know that January and February are very silent months, and November, December, but still a big share of our SMEs do offer their services throughout the year, ranging from 38 to 44, 46%, even during silent times of the months of the year. There again a few pictures. So then let's have a look at promotional tools. So how do SMEs promote their services? Own company website is common, 83%. Word of mouth and customer referrals, and Facebook. They are the three most common ways of promoting services. Tourist brochures with 44% and cooperating with destination marketing organizations with 49% are also mentioned. And then we have sales channels. How are SMEs selling their services? And as you can see, direct sales with 89% is the most common. And this explains in part the reason why also SMEs experience challenges in reaching out to international markets. Online booking platforms are mentioned with 57%. A smaller amount of the SMEs, they are selling their services through travel agencies, tour operators, or through destination marketing organizations. Then let's have a look at the source markets. So when asked which are the company's most important markets, you can see that obviously neighboring countries is considered very important. So people from our region, they go to neighboring countries. But common for all of our countries is Germany. So more than 40% of our SMEs, they mention Germans as an important source market. We also were able to create personas of the entrepreneurs. We had questions in the interviews and in the open-ended survey like, what drives you as an entrepreneur? So we then saw that very few of the entrepreneurs are driven by profit. There are other reasons why they want to be in this tourism business. The most common type is the placemaker, who is really want to contribute to community, make sure that there is businesses in the area they want to cooperate and really want to improve the local community. We also have on the top right corner the value-driven experience creator, and that type of entrepreneur really wants to deliver memorable experiences and values happy customers and enjoys customer encounters. That type of entrepreneur wants to transmit knowledge and skills also to customers and wants to make visitors appreciate and value nature. Then we have maybe a typical entrepreneur type, the autonomy seeker, wants to work with what brings joy and passion, and it seeks freedom, versatility, and a possibility to decide on one's own schedules. And the least common type is the developer. That type of entrepreneur is driven by innovation, collaboration, and networking, wants to develop as an entrepreneur, wants to develop the tourism business and the destination and create new businesses. And of course, many of these entrepreneurs show several features from all these groups, but this can in a way also explain the passion of our and the driving force of our entrepreneurs here in this area. So I'm looking at the watch now, and maybe you give me a hint then if I'm exceeding my time. Let's have a short look at the SMEs' suggestions of what they could offer. the question was, what kind of new services would you be willing to develop during off-season? And the answers show that these services would be the new for that specific company. As such, maybe these services are commonly known from, from our destinations. But we have different kind of wellness services, spa, yoga, calming down packages. We have outdoor-based nature activities. You can see a list here, very versatile, very different types that goes well with the motives of the of the visitors that will be presented later after this presentation. We have events and themed parties. These are very suitable for prolonging the season. Escape games, poetry nights, wine and beer tastings, workshops in cooking and handicraft that can be offered. Catering services for events and conferences. Package tours. And these package tours can also be created as trans-regional tours and packages, so combining our region in creative ways. And transportation services are of course needed. Also new ideas were brought in this category. And then product sales was also mentioned. Okay. So to conclude, we see, as I mentioned, a big potential. There are suitable services. Collaboration is a key. There needs to be a marketing shift, and some efforts into accessibility are needed. So we can then have a look at the list of recommendations, and a full list is found in the report. So for SMEs, it's really about collaboration with others, creating new services, co-packaging, and joint marketing efforts. Increased cooperation with travel agencies and tour operators is vital to access international markets. We need communication about opening hours to cooperation partners and customers, easily accessible and easily and up to date. And then the middle column, there are recommendations for destination management organizations and business development organizations. Really, there is a need for a diversified marketing strategy, highlighting also autumn, winter, and spring in the region. And diversified customer segmentation. The ones who are willing to travel outside the traditional summer season, they are not the same customers that usually visit our region in the summer. So here, to look at the customer segmentation is very important. And again, provide easily accessible information about opening hours and public transport schedules would make lives easier for tourists and visitors. And then lastly, we have some recommendations for local and regional authorities and transport companies. Continued development of public transport. A lot is being done at the moment, but still we need to continue this good work. Ferry schedules off season are crucial for some of our SMEs in remote areas in the archipelago. And route planners for easy access of information. Also transregional kind of route planners would be wished for. And as we saw, the tourist SMEs are facing low profitability and lack of capital to invest. So public investments and subsidies are needed in order to improve the situation. So the full report can be found here if you would like to already now take a picture of the QR code, or then, as mentioned, it will be also found on our project website later on. So thank you.
Thank you, Monika. It was very informative, and I think it already in the audience raised some ideas. I think we don't have time now to take any questions directly after you, but we have a session at the end, a panel discussion. So please, you have still the possibility to address questions to Monika in the chat or in the Q&A section, and we can answer them during the presentations, and we'll take some of the questions at the end to our panel as well for a more general discussion. And also, please, not only questions, but if it arises an idea, then also put it in the Q&A so we can have a discussion. But let's carry on to our next presenter, and Klaipeda University, Diana. I would like you to welcome you on the stage here. It takes a little bit of time always to put people on and off. And do you have your presentation? Yeah, we can see the presentation now. Okay, the floor is all yours, Diana.
Thank you, James. Hello, and dear participants. It is a great pleasure to present research results from international survey carried out at the beginning of this year. The presentation will be focused on nature tourist experience and preferences, participation in nature-based activities, tourist motivations, seasonal preferences, and of course, general conclusions and recommendations for SMEs. So the survey included respondents from 9 countries: Estonia, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, and Sweden as project partner countries, and additional markets as Poland, Germany, France, and UK. Some socio-demographical data. Overall, there were almost 5,000 respondents, fairly balanced geographically and demographically. The samples was evenly spread in all countries, about 400 respondents per country, and it meets requirements for the representativeness. Gender distribution, as you see, varied slightly across countries, but generally remained balanced. Living area is showing that more than half of the respondents reside in urban areas, the rest in suburban and rural areas. The age of respondents ranged from 18 to 89 years, the average 46 years. And the distribution of monthly income shows that a significant portion, almost 50% of respondents, earns around the national level. So key findings. First of all, nature tourist experience and preferences. We asked respondents about the most important types of tourism for them. As you can see, in general, first place gained leisure and recreation, second, nature and outdoors, wellness and relaxation in third place, culture and heritage fourth. Respondents from most countries, as you see, indicated that leisure and recreation are the most popular form of tourism. Respondents from Lithuania, France, and Poland ranked nature tourism as the most popular in the first place. The Swedes prioritized types of tourism slightly differently, giving priority to family tourists, family visits, as placing them, as you see, in high third position. We asked, how long does a typical trip last for you? For the respondents from Baltic countries, the most common are short trips lasting from 1 to 3 days. Trips lasting 4, 6 days, or 1 week are popular in other research countries. Trips lasting longer than 1 week, as you see, are less common, but notable in countries like Germany, France, United Kingdom. What about daily spending on the destination? In general, almost half of the respondents spend less than 100 per day, while 33% allocate between 100 and 200, and about 20% of respondents, as you see from United Kingdom, France, Sweden, and Germany, are spending more from 200 to 300 euros daily. Who inspires tourists to visit nature destinations? Respondents primarily rely on recommendations from friends, family, or close people. As you see, half of the respondents mentioned about that. So word of mouth from satisfied visitors is the most effective form of marketing. Very important inspirational sources are travel websites, half of respondents mentioned about that, official destination websites, online reviews. Social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram also play significant roles in influencing travel decisions. Facebook, about 40% of respondents mention about that, about Instagram, near 30% of respondents. Factors in selecting nature trips. As you see, most important factor is price, with almost 60% of respondents considering is very important. Destination attractiveness is another significant factor, as more than half of respondents as well highly value the beauty and appeal of the location. Accommodation, local authentic experience, transportation are highly prioritized as well. Now about participation in nature-based activities. How do respondents are active and how do they participate in different activities? The data provides to identify 5 most popular activities. As you see, the first place is hiking, emerges as one of the most popular nature activities across all countries. In average, 80% of respondents are hiking during the visits. Other popular activities include nature photography, sauna bathing, outdoor exercises, or fitness. Across countries, there are some country-specific preferences. For example, Estonians and Finns shows a high level of participation in sauna bathing, reflecting the cultural significance of sauna in these societies. Similarly, mushroom or berry picking are more popular in Poland and Lithuania, indicating cultural affinity on these activities in these countries. Outdoor exercises, bike riding are popular activities for Finns, German respondents. Using statistical analysis, it was identified types of nature tourism by participation. 3 types were identified as casual tourists, nature observation and retreat-oriented tourists, and dedicated nature tourists. As you see, the biggest part, about half of the respondents, are casual tourists, and for them, nature is a part of broader itinerary. They have low level of involvement across all nature activity areas, especially adventure, challenging nature-based activities are not popular for them. Just a little bit they like relaxing and pleasure-based activities. About 35% of respondents can be categorized as nature observation and retreat-oriented tourists who purposefully take trips to nature destinations with the aim to explore the destination, to relax in nature settings. And the third group, dedicated nature tourists, about 18%, who as well take trips specially to nature destinations, but they are highly participating in many nature activities, as in challenging, active, as in relaxing. And mostly these dedicated nature tourists, as you see, are young adults aged from 18 to 44, and who especially like to travel in off-season during winter holidays. As you see, even 75% participating in off-season activities. It was about participation, and now about motivation. How we were asked about motives to travel in nature settings. There were presented 23 statements about different motives to participate in nature activities during the trip. And the top 5 motives with 78%, very high percentage, where anxious tourists and relax, to enjoy nature scenery, to spend time with family or friends, to get away from everyday life, to discover new places and things. Such motives, like observation of wildlife, diving, fishing opportunities, received lower scores, but these are niche types of tourism, so obviously the attention is less. And now let's see what types or segments of nature tourists were identified by motivation to participate in nature-based activities. And here were identified three types of travelers: nature enthusiasts, cultural travelers, and leisure seekers. Nature enthusiasts, most active group, almost half of the respondents belong to this group. They value nature trips. They see travel in nature as opportunity to enjoy, to relax, to discover local cultures, traditions, social life. Cultural travelers, near 30%, are motivated to visit nature destinations which are rich in social and cultural engagements. And 23 and 8% leisure seekers, whose priority relaxation and low-intensity recreational activities. Nature enthusiasts represent the youngest age group. They like to travel equally in peak and off-peak seasons. As you see, almost half of them has quite strong interest in working remotely while traveling. And one more feature, it is the biggest group which like to travel in Baltic Sea coast region. More than half of them mentioned about that. Typically, representatives from other two groups, cultural travelers and leisure seekers groups, are older in age group, and more than 60 of them as well prefer to travel outside of the holiday season. Since nature enthusiasts make a larger group, let's see a few characteristics. Mostly nature enthusiasts, as I said, are young people living in urban areas. More than half of them are full-time employed, in the relationship with children, living at home at the same time in the relationship without children, and majority respondents' monthly income are at national average. And traveling during the holiday season, such as Christmas, Easter, school vacation, it is popular, as you see, in all surveyed countries to travel, but except low interest during these holidays are expressed in Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And some seasonal preferences. In general, the survey highlighted growing motivation to travel during the off-season. Looking to the slide, we can see that respondents strongly prefer destinations that offer activities related with the season. 75 and 1% mark this. As well, they significantly consider destination popularity during a specific season. They consider cultural experience available at specific time of the year. So cultural events, concerts, festivals may influence destination choice for some travelers. And I would like to point to the two issues. Near 60% of the respondents take advantage to travel in off-peak season in order to save on travel costs. And another one point, 56% mentioned that they usually are traveling in summer because of the holiday season. So general conclusions and recommendations. First of all, the survey highlighted that nature and outdoors tourism is one of the priority forms of tourism in Baltic Sea region across different seasons. The region already is recognized as nature-based tourism destination. So what can we recommend for SMEs? First of all, to prolong, cooperate with national and local authorities, local business, communities, other stakeholders in order to increase investment in the development of region as round-year nature-based tourism destination, and to increase investment in the positioning region as round-year nature-based tourism destination. Second one, research data allow us to state that crucial role in attracting tourism to nature-based destinations during different seasons are playing these factors: flexible pricing system, attractiveness of destination, unique, memorable, and aligned with the season activities, and accommodation, transportation, accessible meals, and catering choice. What we can to recommend? First of all, to keep flexible pricing system. Second, to highlight unique selling points of the destination. For example, one destination has long-term sauna traditions, another unique nature landscape, third, thematic routes for hiking, for cycling, and etc. And of course, prepare marketing material to attract potential visitors. Third, offer unique and memorable activities such as hiking with nature ranger, bird watching or berry picking tours, regional wellness rituals, traditional local herbs workshops, and etc. And of course, to offer diverse accommodation and transportation choices. Crucial role in attracting tourists to destination is their motivation, and the surveys highlighted that personal need for relaxation, for leisure, exploration of new nature-based places, local cultures was highly expressed. And what can we recommend? We can recommend once again to offer packages for wellness and relaxation, including nature walks, nature sauna bathing, outdoor fitness activities, cycling, yoga, meditation, spa treatments. Offer educational workshops or tours with knowledgeable guides who can educate tourists about the nature world, helping them discover new products, services, and places. And of course, to create special packages or events that highlight the unique aspects of each season. As already I mentioned, berry mushroom picking tours, stargazing nights, photography workshops, and etc. And the last one, conclusion. The research data created precondition to identify the statistical types of respondents according to their participation in nature activities and motivation to participate in nature activities. We can state that the identification of these types and determination of percentage in population is crucial information for development of nature tourism market. So what we can to recommend in creation of nature-based tourism products and services specifically oriented by identified target groups or statistical types, and use targeted market strategies by socio-demographical characteristics, by motives to participate in nature activities, or by seasonal travel preferences. And the main aim to reduce gap between actual existing dedicated nature travelers segment of motivated nature enthusiasts in order the later to become more dedicated nature tourists. For this reason, we recommend more to position the destination as year-round destination, remote work-friendly location, with a flexible pricing system, specifically targeting young full-time employees who like a challenging as adventure tourism as well as a relaxing activity. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Diana. You kept the time perfectly, and a lot of information and a lot of statistics, but in the same way as also the first presentation that Monika had, we have both the reports of these, also some abstracts, so you can get the key data out, and then we also have some videos that are coming that will explain it also in a more general way. I think we'll do so that we'll save any questions for the end session, Diana, so we'll go forward in the program. Please remember you can put any questions or comments in the comment box, and we'll pick up those questions at the end. Also, something that would be very interesting for us to know is that we're using the automatic translation feature this time, and is anyone using it? Are you translating the subtitles into your own language? There should be some kind of function that you can find there, but we added that. Just interesting to know if it works and if you use it. But let's carry on to our last speaker before we have a question and answer session. And Matti was just here backstage, but now he seems to have disappeared. So let's see if what's happened. I hope he'll jump back in very, very shortly. Also, I've been having lots of messages, both in the chat here and then in emails about the recording, but you'll get all the materials to your email either today or by the latest tomorrow. It all depends on how well the system collaborates with us today. And also, if you have any questions in the future, we'll also share the direct email links to both Monika and to Diana. So if you have some specific questions about it. And on our project page, you can find all the contacts to our local partners. As I said, we have 11 partners in 5 countries, and you can contact us, Novia University of Applied Sciences, as the lead partner if you're out with the area, but if you're then within the area, so you'll find the contacts to all the local partners in your area. And I know many of our partners are also organizing their own local events in the future, in the coming year, also presenting these details in their own language. So I think we have a missing speaker at the moment, and perhaps then we could take some questions in between. And maybe I can pose this to actually all of you in the audience, and this is a bit spontaneous, but there was actually a good question from Hanno earlier on about the LGBTQ+ market and the possibility. They're also a segment that is willing to travel out with the season. And I think it was also shown in the market visitor analysis that Diana presented that there was a clear interest in destinations that provide inclusive and accessible products, or are perceived to be inclusive and accessible for all groups, especially amongst those who prioritize sustainability, which is also, of course, one of the key challenges for tourism in the future. So what about the presenters? Or also we have one of our colleagues here, Maria Engberg, which is one of our tourism lecturers. What would you say to tourism entrepreneurs or destinations, how we should tackle inclusivity? Because I think it's also something that is being talked about more and more. And of course, I think some things that Monika presented were also showing that there is sometimes challenges with the physical infrastructure, which can also limit, for example, how inclusive you can be to people who have physical mobility problems. Let's keep that question for the panel discussion, because I can see that we have Matti again, and we'll take that question after the presentation. But Matti, are you ready? We had some technical problems there, but we have you back, and we have to open your microphone as well. So great, we can see your presentation, but we can't hear you yet. You're still muted from your side. Yeah, I think now we can hear you.
What about now?
Yes, we can hear you now. But your presentation,
okay.
At least for me, your presentation disappeared.
Okay, did you hear now or not at all?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay, very good. I try to over again with sharing. Sorry about these technicalities. It's always a bit messy. I hope it appeared on the screen, right?
Yes, now we can see your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry about these delays, but now we can start. And good morning, everyone. And I'm Matti Kose from Estonia, biologist by background, nature educator, tourist developer, and photographer, all in one. And I will have a short my view on how I see these off-seasonal things. And yeah, it's a good time to start because dark times are coming very fast. Yesterday I was surprised that it's still 26 degrees outside, but it's already getting dark at 8 o'clock. So good topic to carry on. Yeah, and this is basically my introduction. We have a bit unusual folk dance event stage in our local beach park just at the beginning of first night frost. So it's something maybe sometimes somebody would like to develop as a tourism attraction. It was just one specific event for this folk dance group, but yeah, always try to surprise your clients and create a new kind of demand if you want to be successful. Some people already mentioned these seasons. I think these boreal countries, especially we should appreciate that we have at least 4 well-established seasons, but nowadays here in Estonia, my good friends in Soomaa National Park, they even promoting the 5th season, which is special season of floods, what we have in some of those lowland floodplains, which often receive a lot of rain because the summers and especially the winters or autumns and springs becoming more wetter because of the increasing rainfall due to climate change. It means that these type of floods can happen more frequently. They can come in any time of year, and they are not maybe so well predictable. That's why they call it 5th season. But from other hand, this concept of 5th season and opportunity to enjoy these natural floods without the panic and problems like Western Europeans often have in these man-made environments. Yeah, this popularity and people's and even the international tourism responsiveness has been increased hugely in the past. And another success story is also saving these dugout wooden logboat tradition. You can see one in a photograph. And so it's one thing combines with another. And yeah, it means that changing times and changing climate, it means that it can bring some problems, but it can bring also some opportunities. Seasons are becoming longer, as often European clients and even the ordinary people are more and more looking for some kind of cooler alternatives on their Mediterranean sunny beaches or areas which are too hot nowadays or have forest fires or earthquakes whatsoever. So we should expect more people coming in our latitudes in the future. And yeah, let's go on. Special times and special features in natural heritage. I like my old picture because there you can see both smoke sauna coming smoke out from a sauna building in traditional style, and the same logboats, very same in the same picture. And my friend Aivar Ruukel, developer of his 5th season concept and saver of these logboats, is navigating his home yard. Yeah, so the specialities were key maybe because most tourists are looking for something new. We're looking for new experiences, new countries, new connections with people, and I've been participating in mainly in nature and nature photography business last 15-20 years, and especially these Eastern Baltic countries. We have both rather unique Soviet heritage. We have some cultural differences from Western Europe and natural differences as well. So it combines a kind of interesting mix, and people often appreciate very much if you not only demonstrate one aspect of these, but try to combine them into a one added value package, so to say. And yeah, already quite a few years ago, I realized that here I put some maybe timetables for basic bird and mammal calendars in Estonia in context. And you can see that basically there are seasons for some activities or some wildlife things throughout the year. Of course, there are some hot seasons, there are some low seasons, but basically if you combine different things and different wildlife elements, you can provide the services year round, and some special species and special times of year are better outside of the common summer months. And basically I realized that traditional birdwatching tourism, which I've been starting with, it's rather short. The key season has been in April and May in the past, and now it's gradually even shifting towards March because of the climate change, and also in August and till the end of October or mid-October. But this is a rather short season. So if you would like to have your business going sustainable way, and you have to have enough clients and revenue also rest of the season, when you have to do something to attract more visitors in not only these key times. And the concept is quite same, but of course there quite big difference between the common summer months tourism versus nature tourism. It is that actually, yeah, by spring and autumn are very good seasons for natural experiences, and sometimes even better than summer months. Yeah, well, some of my own hints or suggestions how to combine different things to provide off-season tourism and develop it more to be in viable side of economy are here listed. So there are maybe not something completely new, but yeah, as we all developing our understanding the needs and the expectations of clients and changing lifestyle as well, we probably should be more maybe innovative and more flexible, more connected and able to tell the stories. I think one of our greatest novel of Estonia, bringing together the worst time of year, ugliest time of year, November, with tradition and spirit of Estonians. And yeah, we call it Rehepapp, novel made by Andres Kivirähk, and it's even a great movie have been filmed according to that one. So basically, how to make all the dust and dirt and bad rain shining or becoming attractive for people. This is one of the key questions. You can't expect that every month in a year and every day in every month would be nice. But yeah, if you from one hand give a clients a promise that you can create them great experiences, but from other hand we can, even if they face the challenges of a bad nature or bad weather, when they will be safeguarded, they will be treated well in terms of the food, hot warming up in hot sauna or in spa or something. So we would like to jump out into these bad and hostile environment for at least some certain period, or stay hidden and have still good memories. And becoming a bit more specific, what we personally did in a past project during this post-COVID recession, we got also idea that we need some more flexible and more season prolonging solutions. So as we see from my perspective, only bird watching is not season is not long enough. So we started more working with providing photographic and also wildlife watching opportunities to clients, and providing some feeding places for birds of prey and some carnivores and large mammals. It gives attractive opportunities to especially for Western European clients, which doesn't have these species in their countries, chances to do it in wider part of the season. You can have carnivores mainly in summer and spring and autumn season, and winter time you have some carnivores, you have some eagles. You still can have at least some business. And we started maybe smaller but a bit more innovative way. We designed new kind of approach. We developed mobile wildlife watching and photography hides, which are transportable as a common trailer, and we having such a special design in that respect that they are where indoor design is specifically customized for a watching and photographing, and also the special features with these trailer cabins have a mirror glass, so it means that the clients see the wildlife and nature well, but they are well hidden from the wildlife, especially the sensitive species. And as there are seasonal changes in locations and activities of the wildlife, you can easily transport this caravan or trailer from one site to another, or even adjust the location on site as well. So we have made that type of trailers. We also thought that which type of camouflage we need, or how to blend into environment well. First answer is of course these classic camouflage netting and things like that, but it's mobile and it's maybe not so military looking device or infrastructure. So we was thinking that maybe it's better to have kind of natural elements on a trailer, and putting some surroundings or environment into the walls of a trailer, as well as putting some wildlife species into this combination as well. So it can be also regarded as moving display or attraction for visitors to get their eye on. So this is our current stage of innovation, and at the moment we are continuing with developing and feeding some specific wildlife watching areas in southwestern part of Estonia, and slowly but steadily we are getting wildlife coming and visiting the areas which we are prepared. We will getting the experiences how these cabins are working for our for our receiving our clients, and getting the business going on also in these low season times. And secondly, part of the project, as we are also very water-rich country, and we have a lot of opportunities for water-based wildlife tourism, we started to design also the special boat for wildlife watching, also in the waters. So we ground up designed specially boat, which is made specifically for this type of purpose. Very stable, very low draught, designed from recycled materials, plastic, which is resistant also for rocks and trouble. And again, we used design a cabin. We covered the windows with mirror glass, so and also provided a heating system, so it's both comfortable and also from other hand the wildlife doesn't see you. And also one key, you have in a bow also the electric trolling motor, which is nowadays they are very sophisticated, so you can navigate closer or change your position in relation to wildlife very easily and very quietly. So it gives you definitely something new type of opportunities. And we are specifically looking for seals and sea ducks in Estonian waters. We have one of the only places nowadays in Baltic Sea where some rare sea ducks are wintering, especially in winter time. Many bird watchers and photographers want to see them. Stellarcider is the name of the species, but also we have a lot of sea bays and estuaries where a lot of waterfowl concentrating during the spring or autumn migration. But also we have a lot of internal water bodies for seals and beavers. So yeah, we are testing this concept right now, and we will see if we are pleased with the results and how a client demand develops, and when we will decide how we expand or shall we need some more boats. But at the moment it's quite exciting times. For instance, with seal image I took last week, and they seem to be happy to enjoying the view as well. And so yeah, these are a few examples about our design and how to be a bit more innovative and bring more attraction. Maybe in wildlife photography especially, it's a bit different business than some others. You have very high competition and so at the same time people always looking for new destinations, new attractions, new fancy chances for photography, and if somebody comes up with new ideas, new fancy opportunities, usually because of the social media and these photographic circles and clubs, information usually spreads rather quickly. It's maybe a bit different from some conventional way of doing some rural tourism. And yeah, that's all for this short presentation for now. This picture maybe sums up the season. It's Tallinn city actually. The Tallink COVID time Tallink ferries are stationed, and the happy white-tailed eagle pair is sharing the food in the midday, and on top of exotic ice-covered poulder. So yeah, everything is in a change globally and locally as well. So I think that hopefully this talk was giving you a bit some inspiration and some ideas, and yeah, made some useful information for you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Matti. And at least you made me want to come to Estonia in the winter time, and perhaps even now you had these beautiful pictures of the seals. So as we bring everyone on stage, I think a question for you. So you also showed really well, I think, how we can use the elements of darkness, of cold, of bad weather to actually create emotionally moving experiences, which are very important in tourism nowadays. Also, actually, you showed very clearly that even though we talk about maybe a very short season in wildlife, when you identified the different species, so we're talking about a very long season. Monika's presentation, she also identified that the most successful companies are the ones who cooperate with locally with other companies, but especially with DMOs, so with visit organizations. So from your perspective as an entrepreneur, how could visit organizations support you in the best way? Do you have some wishes or ideas?
Yeah, well, it's a bit different story because usually, yeah, we local businesses are rely on these DMOs from our content. Although I'm still local, and even the National Tourism Board location is in my home country. I'm used to work by my own, and for nature tourism, the country is one single unit. Although you have some home areas and some areas are better, but I think if you have good ideas, these people would be happy to help you. And most importantly, if you have some need for some promotion, they offer you their own networks and channels, which is great. And some of my tours are also on our Estonian Tourism Board tour packages lists, and also we offer oftenly help with going to the fairs. With Estonian Tourism Board, we've been participating in British Birdwatching Fair already quite a few years, which is important. Also education. Unfortunately, usually it happens that the best trainings or educational seminars are happening also in autumn or spring, so it's very busy. I skipped one what I wanted to do on spring on tourism projects, new project development and packaging. Hopefully I have a bit more time now later in the season. Yeah, and maybe also helping to bring together, and I'm pretty sure that the successful companies do cooperation, and they networking this way or sharing their clients in this way, that different services packaged together in best possible combination, not your own packages, because usually everybody is best in something, but not best in everything. So this is my view to see it.
Okay, thank you. And we've brought then the other presenters back on, both Monika and Diana, and then also our project colleague, Maria, who's been listening very intensively here. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, and we'll ask our presenters those questions. But what about the three others? You've been listening here. I think we've mentioned the idea of cooperation, creating a very strong local ecosystem to provide qualitative service provision, because of course outside the main season many companies are closing, and it's even more important to have the local cooperation. And as Matti was also talking about, education, but then also visibility on the international market. We talked about this in our previous webinar and had some examples. Do you have something to add? You can just open your microphone if you have something. Maybe Monika, would you like to begin?
Regarding cooperation, yeah, this is repeated in all surveys and results. And the SMEs that we've been talking to, they also see the importance of the collaboration. I do still believe that somebody needs to take the lead in coordinating this, and setting up meetings and facilitating, and driving the process forward. And this is obviously something that we would like to contribute to within this project. But there is a kind of a good momentum right now. I feel that we've been talking about collaboration in tourism for the last 30 years and how difficult it is, and but now I do believe that there's also a new generation of SMEs entering the scene, and they think differently about joint efforts. Yeah.
Yeah. Maria.
Yes, thank you very much to all the presenters. I agree with Monika that I also think there is momentum right now. As I was sitting and listening, I'm thinking we are in the middle of it now. We are, trying to do it. But of course, we're talking about a transnational collaboration. We're talking about Northern Baltic Sea region. It's a new region, and we're trying to bring together now entrepreneurs. Also, we, the project partners, are trying to collaborate, are trying to make sure that we sort of try to look at things from a new perspective. And just like James, I really enjoyed, Matti, the hints you had on one of your slides, how to think about what we want to develop, because we're also talking about like changing the minds of people. I mean, traditionally we are used to going sunbathing in the summer and skiing in the winter, and those are holiday times, but actually now changing things around. And also this idea of a fifth season is, I think, attractive. And very often when we have like small internal meetings now within the project, we say that we want to create hygge. Well, hygge is great, but it's a Danish expression, and they managed to sell this. But what could be our hygge? What could be that you think that we are trying to, gather our ideas around? And for example, you, Matti, you used, I think, an Estonian term for something when you explained. I wasn't able to pick it up, but we all have these ideas. So let's see if that's something that we could, pick up and continue working on.
Great, thanks. Let's jump back to the question that I posed when we had a bit of a technical issue earlier, and it was around inclusivity. We also had a follow-up question. I think it was meaning the demand, so the potential demand with people with disabilities. But if we think generally in inclusivity, both then to Diana, has there been a demand? We saw there was clearly a desire to visit destinations that were inclusive, that worked with sustainable, had high sustainable products, and also worked with inclusivity. And then do you have any advice then, the rest of you, about maybe working more locally? We can just open up to anyone who has something to add there, thinking about both then physical inclusivity and then also, for example, different groups like LGBTQ+.
Could I react
Yes,
to this question? But if I can, I would like a little bit stop on cooperation, a few words on cooperation as well. And in my opinion, essentially, it would be it is to shift now from transactional short-term specific benefits for each organization to transformational benefit for all organizations. So in this kind, we will have long-term strategic, long-lasting partnerships, and as our research showed as well, that cooperation between different sectors, not just organizations, are very welcome. And in this kind of cooperation with communities, with people, what we are talking now about, how to involve people with disability in different activities is very important in this kind as well. Talking about the research results, visitor analysis results, yes, we were asking questions exactly about factors in selecting nature trips and accessibility for persons with disabilities, with reduced mobility, for parents with kids stroller, and etc. And it was highlighted as very important aspect. More than half of respondents mentioned that it's very important to take attention toward the accessibility and involvement of these people to different activities of tourism, nature tourism. And the highest means rating was expressed from the respondents. I just looked to the report from France, Poland, UK, Germany, Sweden, and Finland. It was expressed the highest mean ratings regarding this question. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and quickly, maybe a couple of other comments. We have 3 minutes left, so.
Yeah, I think this is something that we will bring into the piloting phase as one of the criteria. It's really important to look at this angle as well. And yeah, I think many of our destinations, they have already been working a lot with kind of accessible routes and infrastructure also in nature. So really, it's an important topic to think about when we then start inviting our test groups. So we would make sure that we have a variation of test groups piloting our products.
Great. I'd like to ask you 2 more questions. We had one from the audience, and it's about tourism, hiking from accommodation to accommodation. I think in Eastern Finland, there's a very famous successful product about that. And do you see that there is recognized a market for this, and do you think it can grow? And I think it's a deep potential if you think of the segments that we're working on. So I think so. Maria, do you have something to add there?
I mean, if we think about do you recognize? Yes, yeah. I definitely think that hiking between different accommodations. We think about like pilgrimage hiking, and people don't only do it for religious reasons, but they also do it for cultural reasons, for reasons to be out in the nature and so on. And of course, that would be. I mean, you need accommodation in order to. So I definitely think that it's something that we can continue working on.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can.
And it needs to be convenient, having your luggage transport and having a meal prepared, and so people really want to have an easily accessible and enjoyable nature experience, but maybe without carrying the backpack yourself.
And Monika, especially if we're talking about off-season now, when the weather is not so good, so then we also need to get into this comfortable, light place that Matti was talking about, that we, after a day of hiking, you have the comfort.
Great, thank you. And I'd like to just finish. We have 1 minute left. So asking the 4 of you for 1 or 2 key takeaways from today. If you'd like to wrap up this seminar from what you've heard, what has made an impression on you? And whoever's first, so you could do it, and then we'll wrap up the webinar.
I'd say customer segmentation, really looking at the segments that are potentially interesting for off-season and making strategic choices then in the destinations.
Yeah, very important. Knowing who your customer is, and targeting.
If I can continue, I saw first time that a lot of background work has been done, a lot of interesting results, which presentation and time was too short to dig deeper in, but definitely something to check further during the dark times ahead. And look what type of ideas and what type of segments we have. And I also feel that maybe this transborder tourist development should be maybe higher something in our agenda. If somebody special from Asia or America coming to this part of the world, they oftenly prefer not just one country for 1 month, but maybe 3 countries, 4 countries, but 1 week, or maybe it's too much. But maybe in how to make these kind of regional packages, and how to show off best of everything of the whole region in different countries. Because if everybody want to show the same things, then it doesn't sound too much attractive. But although we are sharing a lot of different similar features in nature and culture and geography, I think it's quite easy to find every country's best aspects and let our neighbors shining in something different.
Yeah, definitely. Something we hope the project will answer. Maria.
Yeah, yes, I also think that the customers are out there. We just need to find them and and then also we're now talking about Northern Baltic Sea region. It's quite a big region, and then it's also like when we're looking at America or the Asian market, it's an area that they can distinguish. One of these regions cannot be distinguished on a global level, but now that we are putting regions together, so that's something now we're also working hard on making a dent in this development.
Thank you. And the last words, Diana.
And I think that the growing popularity of nature-based and wellness tourism in off-season in our region is now more and more clear seen. So I think we should prioritize this region in Europe as nature-based wellness tourism in different open in different seasons for different travelers from different countries, and especially in these days, climate change days, we are a region which can be very attractive for them for this.
Great, thank you very much. Also, thank you to the audience for participating today and also interacting with us. If you want to follow the project, you can see our socials here and also our web pages and the newsletter. If you are watching online, then you will receive today or tomorrow all the links to everything that's been mentioned today. And if you're watching this later on, so in the YouTube box, you'll find then the links there to all the material. But thank you very much for today. Everything that we produce, of course, in the project, when it's ready and finalized, we also spread it to partners throughout the region, also out with our core project group. So please follow the project and get in contact with us if you have any questions or comments. But thank you very much to our presenters today, and we wish you a successful and happy and colourful autumn, and then eventually some snowy scenes in the winter as well. Thank you very much. Goodbye.